So this Patriot from 2000, so this was starring Mel Gibson and Heath
I have
Ledger.
long feared that my sins would return to visit me, and the cost is more than I can bear.
And the gun and the knife, they're gone.
Samuel, Post Rider! In our
Learning the vocabulary, buy, your sister, husband,
Thank you. You're welcome.
this is postman. And the music by John Williams, he did 80 to
9 pounds, 11 ounces, that's perfect.
Father, a Post Rider!
Did you finish planting the south field?
More than half.
Thomas, wait for father.
the father is open it purse. It works. Or not. South Carolina, 1776.
North Star. Start from the front two stars of the Big Dipper. And then you count up, and it's right. It's right there. Come, it's back.
Good night, Meg.
Else there's no mothers there.
No, there's no mother.
So what was in the mail?
New York and Pennsylvania assemblies are debating independence.
Very excited about the letter.
Chestertown, they burned the customs house and tar and feathered 2 magistrates.
What does it say about the Continental Congress?
It says here they'll make a declaration of independence by July.
I think today is independence, so yeah.
Peter Cuppen joined the Continentals. He's 17, a year younger than I.
He wants to go to.
Assembly's been convened, so I've been called to
Charlestown? We're going to Charlestown?
We are.
It's a lot of boats. Maybe it's a ship.
Margaret, look at you. What have you been feeding them?
Well, they're from good stock. On their mother's side, of course.
Move slowly, you two.
Keep an eye on these heathens, will you?
Thomas!
I have this for you, Susan. It belonged to your mother. She's still not talking.
Harry Burwell's here recruiting. Has vowed if the Assembly votes a single shilling to the Continental Army, he'll dissolve the body.
Didn't that force our delegates in Philadelphia to vote for independence?
Send us off to war alongside Massachusetts. Well, children, inside. Come along now. Inside now.
I expect you to be the first to enlist. They have long needed a woman in their lives. A mother.
My name is Peter Howard. My hearing and my left leg fighting for the crown in the French and Indian War. He cuts off my other leg with his taxes.
Miss Howard, isn't it?
You know who I am, Gabriel Martin. Me, I was 11, and you put ink in my tea.
It's perhaps Samuel or Nathan.
Turned my teeth black for a month.
First order of business.
And our last, if we vote a levy.
First order of business will be an address by Colonel Harry Burwell of the Continental Army. Colonel Burwell.
And I would not try to convince you of the worthiness of our cause. From Philadelphia, we expect a declaration of independence. Ask that South Carolina be the 9th.
Massachusetts and Virginia may be at war. Carolina is not.
But for the independence of one nation.
And, yes, what nation is that? An American nation.
Why should I trade one tyrant 3,000 miles away for 3,000 tyrants 1 mile away? The legislature can trample a man's rights as easily as a king can. I mean, by patriot, am I angry about taxation without representation? Well, yes, I am. I mean, am I willing to go to war with England? Well, then the answer is most definitely no.
No.
Captain Benjamin Martin, whose fury was so famous during the Wilderness Campaign.
I fought with Captain Martin under Washington in the French and Indian War.
Take our case before the king. We plead with him.
Yes, we've tried that.
Well, then we try again and again, if necessary, to avoid a war.
And we killed over 700 of them at point-blank range, and still they took the ground. that is the measure of their resolve, then war is the only way.
I have 7 children.
Going to เสียสมัย
My wife is dead. Now who's to care for them if I go to war?
Wars are not fought only by childless men.
This war will be fought not on the frontier or on some distant battlefield. Our children will learn of it with their own eyes, and the innocent will die with the rest of us. Because I will not fight, I will not cast a vote that will send others to fight in my stead. I'm a parent. I haven't got the luxury of principles.
Wow, the levy passed!
Just wasting the bullet.
Do you intend to enlist without my permission?
Yes, I do. I thought you were a man of principle.
When you have a family of your own, perhaps you'll understand.
When I have a family of my own, I won't hide behind them.
It's a great big argument.
He's as imprudent as his father was at his age.
It seems like only yesterday when we last saw each other in Charlestown. It was with great sadness that I learned of its recent fall to the British under General Cornwallis, telling me she had closed her home in Charlestown after the city fell and moved to her plantation on the Santee. The campaign has been marked by defeat and privation. Peter Cuppen fell at Elizabethtown. His death has been difficult to bear. We'll march south with General Gates to fight the Redcoats under Cornwallis. Your youth and your distance from this cruel conflict
From which I am a part. But I consider myself fortunate to be serving the cause of liberty. Day in prayer, I reaffirm my willingness, if necessary, to give my life in its service.
Then it's on the pass.
What are you doing?
Busted.
Turn around. That's it.
That's 2 years. It's already been 2. The war could be over by then.
Oh, God willing.
17.
Put it back, please.
What happened at Fort Wilderness?
Away.
Then you want to talk.
Margaret, you go get your brothers back up here right now.
Body in there or something. Yep.
Back to the house. Come on. 6-pounders. Lots of them. Oh, they're a long way off. They're most likely heading the other direction.
Mother, they might come
Thomas,
this way.
must I tell you again?
Need to keep an eye out. Body there.
We're gonna have to fight them off.
Won't Father do that?
Lord knows what to you women.
Nathan.
They didn't lock the door.
Slowly turn.
It's Angel.
Gail, the children, please.
Children, come upstairs.
Gates marched us straight at the Redcoat. Dragoons cut us to bits. I was given these dispatches. Killed them all. Over 200 men. These dispatches to Hillsborough.
You're in no position to ride.
I can't stay here. It's not safe.
They're coming this way. Coming to the house.
Thank you for the care of His Majesty's soldiers.
Enemies coming or something.
Lieutenant, have a detachment take our wounded to our surgeons at Winsboro.
Yes, sir.
Fire the house and barns. Be known, if you harbor the enemy, you will lose your head. All slaves of the American colonies who fight for the crown will be granted their freedom with our victory.
We're not slaves. We work this land. Freedmen.
Oh, then you're freed men who will have the opportunity and the privilege of fighting. Who carried this? Who carried this?
I did, sir. I was wounded. These people gave me care. They have nothing to do with the dispatches.
Camden, here's a spy. Hang him, put his body on display.
He's a dispatch rider, and that's a uniformed dispatch rider and carrying a marked case. He cannot be held as a spy.
Well, we're not going to hold him. We're going to hang him.
This guy.
She should have taught him something of loyalty.
By the rules of war.
Rules of war. Would you like a lesson, sir, in the rules of war?
No lesson is necessary.
What of the rebel wounded?
Kill them.
I knew he's going to say that. I mean, what can he do now? It's kind of stupid.
Stupid boy. Captain?
This is damn.
All of you stay here.
Mr. Box. Equipments.
Nathan, Samuel. Fields with William and Susan. If we're not back by sunset, I want you to take them to your Aunt Charlotte's. Two to start with the officers and work your way down. Can you tell the difference? Samuel, after your first shot, I want you to reload for your brother Nathan. Now, if anything should happen to me, I want you to run as quickly as you can. Now you hide in the brush, make your way home, get your brother and your sisters, and you take them to your Aunt Charlotte. What did I tell you fellas about shooting?
Aim small, miss small.
Now the train. Now the assassinate.
Lord, make me fast and accurate.
I feel like he's going to be scared of and they're going to miss. I guess the sword is accurate. Just didn't go. The X. Let's see it all up there. You are throwing, okay. Nice. Good job. That's overkill. And the guy who killed him is still not there.
We ask that you embrace and understand the manner in which your mercy works.
Was he a ninja?
Sir, we have the private the Cherokee Scouts brought in.
Colonel William Tavington, Green Dragoons. What happened?
It was mad.
He's about.
Couldn't really tell you who it was.
Calm down. Calm down. How?
He said there was...
Were you there? Then let him
You're interrupting.
tell me. How many were there? Were there militia? One man.
1B20.
He was on the flank. I could barely see him. He was there and then he was gone.
Well, he just vanished. Wasn't a man.
Yes. A ghost.
I'll explain the injuries then.
See if we can't capture this ghost before word of his exploits spread. Who's this?
Sir, this is Captain Wilkins of mine who stand against England. Deserve to die a traitor's death, hmm?
Try to sleep.
You did what you had to. There was no wrong in it.
Glad I killed.
Different experience for both of them.
You've done nothing for which you should be ashamed.
I've done nothing.
I mean, you kind of killed a demon, so.
We'll go to St. Helena. That's a freed slave island just north of Charlestown.
I'm joining up with them.
Gabriel.
Your place is here now.
I'm going back. I'm a soldier, it's my duty.
Your duty is to your family. Don't you walk away from me, boy!
I'm sorry, Father, I'll find you when this is all over.
No, you're not going. Child! You're my child! Gabriel! Thomas is dead. How many more have to die before you'll heed my word? Nathan, I want you to take care of your brothers and sisters and your Aunt Charlotte. I'm dependent on you, as I am on you, Samuel. Goodbye.
He seems to be in a hurry. I just walk into it.
Back. No, I didn't expect you would. Gates is a damn fool. Muzzle to muzzle with redcoats in open field. It's madness. The battle was over before it began.
Getting
Rustics are so inept. Nearly takes the honor out of victory. Nearly.
Glorious day for His Majesty in England.
Colonel Tavington is too eager for glory.
For victory.
The Colonel Tavington prefers to follow his own commands.
General O'Hara tells me you've earned the nickname the Butcher among the populace.
It's a lost cause.
The last anyone saw, riding hard northeast, 100 yards behind, trying to catch up.
So who's in command?
I am. We're a breath away from losing this war, Benjamin. Clinton is reeling from Morristown. He's running and hiding from 12,000 redcoats.
And he destroyed the only army between him and New York.
Unless we can keep Cornwallis in the south till the French arrive.
Actually trust the French to keep their word.
Absolument.
7th Lightfoot, he's here to help train the militia.
The hero of Fort Wilderness, your reputation precedes you.
Really expect to hold Cornwallis here using just militia? Sorry, they're not soldiers, they're farmers. They'd be better off letting the British just march through.
They'd be better off, but the cause wouldn't.
Let's have under his command.
8,000 infantry.
Might I request, sir, that you transfer my son here under my command?
Sir, no,
No, that's done.
As a scout, horseman, marksman, scavenger?
That's so.
Yes, sir, I could be of better service with the regulars.
Where'd you learn all that riding shit?
Father taught.
Start on the south side of the Santee.
We
and
cover
work
more ground if we split up.
Harrisville, Pembroke, Wakefield. I'll start on the north side of the Santee. We'll meet at Old Spanish Mission in Black Swan.
Yes, sir.
You have children? French.
Your service in this war more than warrants such a gift. My own meager contributions will be rewarded one day.
You may presume too much. Judges us not only by the outcome of the war, but the manner in which it was fought. Conduct ourselves accordingly. Surrendering troops will be given quarter. These brutal tactics must stop. You serve me, and the manner in which you serve me reflects upon me.
Father squandered any esteem in which we were held, along with my inheritance.
Advance yourself only through my good graces.
Reverend, with your permission, I'd like to make an announcement.
Young man, this is a house of God.
The South Carolina militia is being called up. I'm here to enlist every man willing.
More suffering to this town?
If King George can hang those men, our friends, he can hang any one of us.
Barely a week ago, I heard you rail for 2 hours about independence. How many times have I heard you speak of freedom at my father's table? Including you, Father. And you, Reverend, when you are needed most, stop at only words. Is that the sort of men you are?
No action, only words, man.
and in which you so strongly believe.
Who's with us?
I have permission to write to Anne.
Hey?
Permission to write Anne.
Yes, you have permission.
Write her.
Yes, sir.
Very well.
The shepherd must tend his flock, and at times fight off the wolves.
Okay.
God save King George!
I think we came to the right place.
Well, no scalp money this time, Rollins. But you can keep or sell back to me the muskets and gear of any redcoat you kill.
Damn one of them redcoats deserves to die.
Sign on up.
With all my ailments, I would make it through the first skirmish. Fight in my stead. Arkham, get over here. He's strong as a bull.
Can you write? Well, then make your mark.
Why? I just signed him over to you.
If you're willing, I'd like you to make your...
I'd kill me some redcoats.
I believe you would.
20 redcoats got killed by a ghost or some damn thing. Carried a Cherokee tomahawk.
Aren't you a little old to be believing in ghost stories?
He's melting the records. Making
How many
something.
did you get?
12.
Good.
They're not the sort we need.
They fought this kind of war before.
One of that sort?
Hell no. You're the sort that gives that sort of bad name.
Precision. Make ready! Fire!
Guerilla.
As long as we continue to fight, others will come to stand and fight beside us. I'm hopeful that our duties will bring me near you. Until then, I am and will remain most affectionately yours.
No time for surrender.
We'll never know. This is murder!
Well, Reverend, they're redcoats. They burned it.
Know the difference between fighting for a
You guys
cause
don't ban
and
murder!
No, not
Quiet!
Let one person speak price.
British men of war gave no such quarter when it fired on a ship carrying my wife and daughter. We were burnt alive.
You have my sympathy, but my
It's
orders
only
stand.
one experience.
For you to give such an order. I know what you
His leader.
did to my countrymen at Fort Wilderness.
Every man here is free to come and go as he pleases. But while you're here, you will obey my command, or I will have you shot.
Hey, that pistol. You won't let anybody near the wagon.
It's the personal correspondence of Lord Cornwallis.
We drink the wine, eat the dogs, and use the papers for musket lighting.
Eat the dogs.
I don't know about the rest of you, but I don't like the idea of giving muskets to slaves.
I'm as pale as your skin.
Going to fight each other.
They call this the New World. It's not. It's the same as the old, where all men are created equal under God.
Sounds good.
Pride's a weakness.
Personally, I would prefer stupidity.
Pride will do.
Colonel Tavington, why, after 6 weeks, am I still here in Middleton Place attending a ball in South Carolina? Bridges and ferries between here and Charlestown burned. Colonel, if you can't protect our supply lines against militia...
Lord, they won't fight like regulars. We can't find them.
Colonel, they're militia.
So, by the commander, this ghost.
Oh, ghost. You created
Colonel.
Your brutality has swelled his ranks, without which this ghost would have disappeared, and...
Colonel Tavington thought it best to secure our arms and munitions first. They are being unloaded now.
Racing as well.
You look good in that color.
The beast took your dogs as well.
Destroying the ball.
Oh, fireworks!
Okay.
Mr. Howard, I've come to call on Anne. I've come to call on Anne.
Well, of course you call yourself a man.
You heard him.
Very good.
Please that you like it.
I'm so better than my mother.
Why don't you read it for us?
I can't read.
By order General George Washington and the Continental Congress, all bound slaves who give minimum one will be granted freedom and be paid a bounty of 5 shillings for each month of service. First they're gonna free them, and then they're gonna pay them.
What in the hell are you gonna do with freedom?
Take your time.
Ducks.
Sir?
These wagons now belong to the Continental Army.
Ready, arms! And toes!
Sergeant, there's no need for you and your men to die.
It's the King's Highway, and I advise you and your men to make way.
Sabete. Surrounded.
Two are dead, 18 wounded, 20 are missing.
I'm through. Countrymen will arrive. The French army
The
is...
hell with you. Hell with the French army.
We don't need them. We got Benjamin Martin.
Wherever you go, men buy you drinks because of what happened to Fort Wilderness. Rangers know more about you than I do.
Your mother asked me that question around about the time you were born. I was drunk and foolish enough to answer it. French and the Cherokee had raided along the Blue Ridge. English settlers had sought refuge at Fort Charles. They'd killed all the settlers. The men, some of the children, we buried them all, looked up with them at Fort Wilderness. We cut them apart. Slowly, I could still hear their screams. We placed the heads on a pallet and sent them back with the 2 that lived to Fort Ambercourt. Eyes, tongues, fingers, sent them down the Ashalot of the Cherokee. Soon after the Cherokee broke their treaty with the French, thought we justified it.
Gruesome.
And not a day goes by where I don't ask God's forgiveness for what I did.
As well as your son. You may not believe this, but I want satisfaction as much as you did.
That's what your mother used to say to me when I'd get drunk or lose my temper.
She said to me when I picked on Thomas.
Huh? I miss him.
What?
The British got 18 of our men at Fort Carolina. They're gonna be hung one at a time until they give up the rest of us.
Can you write a letter for me? To my wife and boy.
Yes, Mel Gibson.
My lord, there is a rider at the gate being a white flag. He has a pair of dogs with him. Great Dane.
General Lord Cornwallis will be with you shortly.
It's not pickable.
Come, boys, come. Come. I'm afraid I don't know your name.
I'm a colonel with the Continental Army. My rank should be sufficient for now.
Would you, as the initiating officer, care to begin?
Of course, you'd like to claim aggrieved status.
Yes, I have in your possession certain belongings of mine, including clothing, furniture, personal effects of a non-military I'd like to have returned to me.
Indeed.
Of the specific targeting of officers during engagements. Colonel, you must know that in civilized, imagine the utter chaos that would follow from leaderless armies having at each. Must be gentlemen in command to lead and where necessary.
Restrain them from, say, targeting civilians, women, children, and such.
That's a separate issue.
No. I consider them linked to the shooting of officers at the outset of every engagement.
Deal.
Now, let us move on to...
Prisoner exchange. Have 18 of my men. I want them back.
Criminals under sentence of death, but I hold no prisoners of war.
19 if you hang me with my men.
My officers.
Sir. Just below the tree line.
So here's a plan.
And ranks?
Dressing
Refuse
up.
to give me their names, but their ranks are 9 lieutenants, 5 captains, 3 majors. The conduct of your officers is the measure of a gentleman. I'll take that as a compliment.
Arrange the exchange.
and looking the eyes.
Release the prisoners!
He has 18 of our officers. Who is he? I recognize him. He's the commander of the militia.
Hey, that sword, Colonel!
He rode in under a white flag for formal parley. If you harm him, you condemn our officers.
Killed as many officers in the last 2 months.
He has shown no aggression here, hence he cannot be touched.
Remember you? From that farm, that stupid little boy?
It's an ugly business, doing one's duty. But just in case.
Before this war's over, I'm going to kill you.
Why wait?
I mean, he's not that stupid. Scarecrow.
Of our captured officers, my lord.
Because of your incompetence, that man insults me.
Quite impressive for a farmer with a pitchfork.
I want you to capture him.
Man has the loyalty of the people. They protect him, protect his family.
As the use of tactics that are somewhat brutal, I think.
Go on.
Prepared to do what is necessary. I alone will assume the full mantle of responsibility for my actions.
You and I both know that I can never return to England with honor.
Aristocracy?
It'll be landowners.
7 miles from Wakefield, on the Santee, east of Black Swamp. Who lived there?
Benjamin Martin. He's the ghost.
Where would he hide his children?
His wife's sister has a plantation. It's not far.
Piano. They're coming.
Hey, Charlotte. Hey, Charlotte. Wake up. Someone's coming. Get the boys. Stay close. Follow me.
And him in basement.
There's no one in the house, sir.
We can't be far. Search the outbuildings in the woods, quickly.
Yes, sir.
He knows.
Where are they hiding?
In there somewhere!
Where's Father? Why did he go?
He didn't want those mean men to find you, so he led them away. He'll come and see you as soon as he can.
I hate him.
Don't hate him.
I hate him, and I hope he never comes back.
You can't deny the truth.
It's the children.
Talk to you?
Full sentences. As if she'd been speaking all along.
What did she say?
You don't want to hear.
She said, you and
Okay.
misses you, but she understands why you can't be there with.
Sure.
Has a list of our men. He's burning our homes, killing whomever resists. John, this is not a time for vengeance. This is a time for mourning.
Attend to your families. 1 week furlough for all men. Any man who does not return will not be thought a coward or uncommitted. Meg!
From good stock on their father's side.
Thank you.
I had a family of my own that I'd understand.
You're trying to tell me something.
Apple. Thank you.
And to be your husband, to live in the covenant of marriage.
Wedding.
Will you love, and will you have this woman to be your wife, to live together in the covenant of marriage? Will you love, comfort, and honor her for by the power vested in me by our mutual faith in the Lord our God? I now pronounce you man and wife.
I'm sorry we didn't give you more warning.
Belonged to Gabriel's mother.
It's beautiful.
It's the North Star. That's the only star in the sky that never moved.
I'd be honored.
Listen, strength.
Nathan, you know I'm counting on you now to make absolutely
I know.
sure that you... What?
Say my prayers and take care.
Couldn't have said it better. Goodbye, Susan. Goodbye. One word, that's all I want.
Papa. I'll be anything you want. You want me to stay home. I promise, Papa, please don't
Susan,
go.
Susan. I'll come back. You believe me?
John Raskin did come by earlier. He looked around, then he left. Would have made 4.
4 would have been better.
Coming.
Colonel.
Reverend.
Yes, trust the French. Where else do I get the opportunity to kill a few redcoats? You wounded once when you're not looking?
Everyone's been requested to gather at the church.
Mr. Wilkins?
Colonel Tavington wishes to address the whole village.
This town has given aid to Benjamin Martin and his rebels. I wish to know his whereabouts. Anyone who comes forward may be forgiven their treason.
Oh, they all dead.
Wait! This man gives Martin and his men supplies.
Quiet!
Fool!
By the old Spanish mission.
This man here.
Red pill guy.
The Black Swamp, you say? By the old Spanish mission. Out the doors.
But you said
Panda says.
we'd be forgiven.
And indeed you may!
Ready to fire the town on your order, sir.
The town? Burn the church.
There you go.
All those who stand against England deserve to die a traitor's death.
And it's like, come and see.
The honor is found in the end, not the means to be forgotten. Morton?
They're not here.
Get there.
To arms! To arms!
And for the defense. The sad guy is there. Actually called it. Isabella.
Don't talk. Don't talk.
I'm sorry.
Be quiet. I'll take care of you. You're going to be all right.
Father, I'm sorry. About Thomas.
Don, that wasn't your fault. Don't go. Gabriel, do.
If you come with us, you can justify their sacrifice.
Why do men feel they can justify death? My sins would return to visit me.
Dean and Dan Morgan are down from Virginia. If we win this next battle, victory in the war is within our grasp.
Go then.
It's not sunny.
I have run my course.
Oh, you men will be leaving with us.
flashback. Interplay.
I grant you that small measure, in spite of your failure to deliver the ghost to me. I will not tolerate a premature charge born of your eagerness for glory. Abandon any hope of Ohio.
Not only does he outnumber us, but nearly half of our force is militia. Unreliable.
I believe you underestimate our militia.
We've seen our militia lines break time and again. Kips Bay, Princeton.
But the British own letters bear out that he has no respect for the militia, none whatsoever.
What are you suggesting, Ben?
I'm suggesting we use that.
A lot can happen in a town that takes to fire 2 shots. Especially against British regulars.
That's why I'm not asking you to fire 3.
If I die, I will die well dressed.
Will you give this to my children?
Here now on my own accord.
I'm honored to have you with us.
Shoulder! Arms! Shoulder!
Forward! March!
I believe I see militia forming at their center.
No. Return.
Sir, we haven't been given that order.
Wally.
Damn him! Glory from this field. Congratulations, my lord.
Lord, you've taken the field. Now we should take their spirits. Send the entire battalion over that hill and crush them.
Get more. Recent chaos. Compare nothing. No retreat. This music.
Artillery, concentrate on the center. Drive them back.
It's in plastic.
Kill me before the war is over, will you? The better man.
Slow motion. The piano.
You're right. My sons were better men.
Sound the retreat. Retreat!
War has turned. General Cornwallis took flight with his army and moved north. Cornwallis entrenched himself at Yorktown, Virginia. George Washington escaped from the north undetected and surrounded Cornwallis, knocked off by our long-lost friends, who had finally arrived. Vive la France!
I beseech you. You must order the surrender.
An army of rebels will change.
More like you're the peasant.
Himself hid in shame, appointing his subordinate to relinquish his sword. Our militia disbanding. I take measure of what we have lost, and what we have won is that the sacrifices borne by so many will spawn and fulfill the promise of our new nation.
Well, your wife's expecting a child soon, isn't she?
She gave birth to a son 3 weeks ago. We named him Gabriel.
Gabriel said if we won the war, we could build a whole new world right here with your home.
A new home. This will be the ending. This will be a legendary movie. Because battle scenes are kind of crazy. No idea how they filmed that, coordinated and all. Usually good stuff like that. This is for the freedom of America. And the video,